Today, ladies and gents, I will be talking about Robocop, both the old and new one. Robocop is a film that engages with humanism, transhumanism, and posthumanism concepts. A perfect film for me to talk about for this week's topic. I want to discuss in depth the aesthetic choices that the producers gave Robocop so that it was easily distinguishable for the audience to be able to differentiate when Robocop was representing each one. Before jumping right into looking at Robocop himself, I think it's important to define what humanism, transhumanism, and posthumanism is, along with their common aesthetic traits. Now, I know all of you have already read the online lecture and will know everything about this, but I'm quickly going to revisit it just in case anyone got a little bit confused or can't remember. So, firstly, let's look over humanism. The American Humanist Association describes humanism as a progressive philosophy of life that, without theism or other supernatural beliefs, affirms our ability and responsibility to lead ethical lives of personal fulfillment that aspires to the greater good. Or put in simpler terms by the Bristol Humanist Group, is an approach to life based on reason and our common humanity, recognizing that moral values are properly founded on human nature and experience alone. In my own words, humanism is a belief that we humans are able to, without technology or theism, to have fulfilling and ethical lives. So, what are the aesthetics of a human? Just a regular human being, really. Some may be a little different, but we all have the same construct. Next, transhumanism. Philosopher and futurist Max More sums up transhumanism very well as a class of philosophies of life that seek the continuation and acceleration of the evolution of intelligent life beyond its currently human form and human limitations by means of science and technology, guided by life-promoting principles and values. In my own words, transhumanism is the belief that humans should continue to evolve through science and technology, however staying within boundaries, to still be classified as human. Those boundaries are very blurry and is what causes debates between the humanism and transhumanism groups. So, what are the aesthetics of transhumans? If you search Google, you get this: lots of people with technological alterations. This is because this is the stereotype of transhumans, but it extends beyond that to many other things as well. Lastly, we have our posthumanism. Posthumanism, explained by Carrie Wolf, is a response to the redefinition of humanity's place in the world by both the technological and biological, or green, continuum in which the human is but one life form among many. Mr. Wolf re-explains this in his book What is Posthumanism as a belief in the engineering evolution of posthuman defined as being whose basic capacities so radically precede those of present humans as to no longer be unambiguously human by our current standards. In my own words, instead of being like transhumanism, where the aim is to enhance human performance with technology, posthumanism is aimed at integrating technology into our bodies so thoroughly that they are no longer indistinguishable from each other and furthermore move past being human. So now, let's dig into Robocop. For the time being, we will be referring to the new 2014 version. Our protagonist, Alex Murphy, aka Robocop, begins as being human. Aesthetically, he is a regular looking guy that shows emotion such as affection to his family and regular human behavior. Being human is pretty straightforward. Then we come to where his body is destroyed and his remaining organs are put into a robot suit. At this point, Alex has become transhuman. Aesthetically, they make Alex's transformation seem positive as they give Alex much bigger physical proportions even though they're not really needed. That got me wondering why they would make the suit look like an ideal male body instead of something new. That's when I came across William Gillis, who expressed his frustration on the topic. Transhumanism is about freedom and evolution. Transhumanist aesthetics should necessarily focus on deepening the wild diversification the information era has brought on, rather than everyone converging on a plastic male order bride aesthetic. I believe the producers decided to go with this aesthetic for one reason, because as Carrie Wolf states, transhumanism has roots in rational humanism. Transhumanism aesthetics are built upon humanism ideals. This way, the technology implemented onto Robocop are aesthetically making him look stronger and more masculine, traits that are seen as desirable for men, but are not changing the form of his body to still make him seem somewhat human. We can even look at the old Robocop and new one and see how the aesthetics of transhumanism has progressed in 37 years. Before, we can see that Robocop was more experimental and less indicative of a human being, as it was silver and quite clunky looking. The new Robocop, however, is black, slim, and masculine. They even added abs to the new Robocop to further link the aesthetic of the suit to the idealistic traits of men, making it seem to the audience even more that Robocop was more transhuman than posthuman, as representations of the body are an essential component of superhero narratives. With all these physical changes and aesthetic look, we however don't see a change in his emotions, as he still shows affection to his family and other regular emotions. This is where Robocop becoming posthuman comes in. In the movie, Robocop's feelings and emotions are stripped away from him to make him more efficient. Why is he suddenly posthuman instead of transhuman now, you may ask? I base this change of state on Kevin Legrande's article on the difference between posthumanism and transhumanism, where he states that when working with something that is posthuman, the focus will be on function rather than form. Humanness will be defined by how a species operates. In other words, whether it processes information like a human, is sentient, empathetic, intelligent, and such rather than how it looks. Up until now, we were only looking at how Alex Murphy changed his appearance, but now the next step of essentially rewiring him on the inside takes it to the post-human level. They portrayed this change aesthetically with both his movements and interactions. His movements become efficient and non-human, almost like he's doing the robot dance. His interactions alongside show no sign of emotion. Robocop now only converses to receive information. Even the affection he showed his family while being transhuman is gone, leaving us essentially with a human that's been reprogrammed to be a robot. The producers of this film do a great job in making it easy to recognize when Robocop changes through these different phases. Aesthetics is applied well also to indicate these changes and furthermore help the audience understand what's happening even without thinking about it. Thank you.